The decision, the Galactic Council chamber floated above a dying blue star, ancient and cold, filled with beings from 1,000 worlds. They had gathered for one purpose only, the fate of a small planet called Earth. Earth was marked on the great hologram as weak and divided. Its cities glowed like fragile lights, its people labeled as emotional and violent. To the Council, humans were nothing more than a failed experiment of nature. The Speaker of the Council rose slowly, its voice calm and heavy. It spoke of statistics, wars, pollution, and internal conflict. It said humanity would destroy itself within a few centuries. The room agreed in silence. A tall insectoid general clicked its mandibles and requested invasion rights. Earth had water, metals, and a perfect position near key trade routes. Leaving humans alive was considered inefficient. The Council listened without emotion. One by one, the votes were cast. Lights turned red across the chamber. The decision was final. Earth would be invaded and claimed. No one asked what humans might do. No one questioned their history of survival. The Council believed advanced technology always defeated raw will. Far away, on Earth, the decision was already known. Human listening stations hidden across space had heard everything. The message reached deep underground bunkers and silent orbital platforms. There was no panic, only focus. Human leaders gathered in a secure room beneath the planet's surface. Screens showed alien fleet paths and estimated arrival times. The invasion was coming, and humanity had only one chance. A general spoke first, calm and steady. He said Earth could not win a direct fight. The alien weapons were stronger and faster, but strength was not the plan. Another voice followed, a scientist with tired eyes. She reminded them that Earth itself was a weapon. Gravity, weather, terrain, and human adaptability were not on any alien chart. The room slowly understood. Humans had survived ice ages, plagues, and near extinction. They had learned to fight when losing. They had learned to turn weakness into traps. The plan was simple and dangerous. Earth would not block the invasion. Earth would welcome it. Cities would be evacuated quietly. Defenses would stay hidden. Satellites would pretend to fail. To the enemy, it would look like surrender. The goal was not to stop the aliens in space. The goal was to bring them down to Earth, where every breath, every step, and every shadow would fight back. A final order was given. Humanity would play the role the Council expected. Scared, divided, and weak. As the meeting ended, one officer stayed behind. He looked at the image of Earth, rotating slowly. He whispered that the Council had made a mistake. They believed intelligence was measured by machines. They believed power came only from weapons. They did not understand human patience. Above Earth, the stars remained silent. Alien fleets moved. Closer, confident and proud. They believed they were coming to conquer a world. They did not know they were coming to their grave. First contact, the alien fleet arrived without fear. Thousands of massive ships slid out of hyperspace like dark shadows. They surrounded Earth in perfect formation, calm and confident from their command ships. The invaders scanned the planet. They saw empty cities and silent skies. No global shields, no missile launchers, no resistance. The data confirmed what the Council believed. Humans were scared. The alien commanders laughed in strange metallic tones. They had expected chaos, panic, and desperate attacks. Instead, Earth looked tired and defeated. This made the invasion feel easy. A message was sent to the surface. It was cold and formal. Earth was ordered to surrender and accept occupation. There was no response to the aliens. Silence meant victory. Landing zones were chosen near major cities. Troop carriers began their descent through the atmosphere. Engines burned bright as they cut through the clouds. On Earth, nothing moved. No jets scrambled. No missiles fired. Human defenses remained quiet. Too quiet. The first alien soldiers landed on cracked highways and empty streets. Their armor was advanced and heavy. Their weapons glowed with contained energy. They expected ambushes, but found nothing. They marched into cities that felt wrong. Buildings stood intact but abandoned. Personal items lay where humans had left them. Food still sat on tables, untouched. Sensors searched for life signs. Millions of humans were missing, not dead, not fleeing into space, simply gone. The alien commanders began to feel uneasy. This was not how conquered worlds behaved. There was no surrender ceremony, no cries for mercy, only silence. As more troops landed, Strange problems appeared. Weapons systems began to misfire. Armor joints moved slower than expected. Earth gravity pressed harder than simulations predicted. Alien soldiers struggled to run. Some fell and could not rise quickly. Others felt pain for the first time in their lives. Their bodies were not built for this world. Still, the commanders pushed forward. They believed these were minor issues. They believed technology would adapt. They believed humans were still hiding in fear. Then the environment turned hostile. Storm clouds formed without warning. Heavy rain flooded landing zones. Electrical systems shorted out. Lightning struck alien towers and communication relays. Winds howled through ruined streets. Visibility dropped to almost nothing. Formation broke. In the chaos, the first human attack happened. It was small and precise. A single alien patrol vanished near an abandoned subway. No explosion, no signal, just silence. Command requested reports. None came back. Then another unit disappeared. Then another, always in places where terrain was tight and dark. Fear spread through the alien ranks. They were being hunted, not by machines, not by large armies, but by something unseen, underground. Human operators watched everything. They tracked alien movement in real time. They did not rush. They waited. Humans had learned long ago that patience wins wars. Every step the invaders took taught Earth more. Every mistake was recorded. Every weakness was marked. As night fell across the planet, alien soldiers activated night vision, but Earth darkness. It was different. It swallowed sound and light. From the shadows, human traps activated. Streets collapsed. Tunnels flooded. Signals were jammed. Escape routes vanished. The alien commanders finally understood something was wrong. This was not a broken world. This was a prepared one. Above Earth, the Council fleet still waited, expecting a quick victory report. Instead, they received confusion and silence. Humanity had not fired the first shot in space. They had waited for the enemy to land, and now, the hunt had begun. They had trapped by the third day. The alien invasion was no longer smooth. What was planned as a fast occupation had turned slow and confusing. Alien soldiers were still landing, but many were not returning. Command ships demanded answers from ground forces. Reports came in broken and delayed. Units were lost without signs of battle. Weapons failed at critical moments. The aliens blamed Earth conditions. Gravity crushed their movement. Air pressure strained their lungs. Microorganisms damaged their biosystems. Humans had studied these weaknesses carefully. They knew alien bodies were not made for Earth. Every breath the invaders took made them weaker. The trap was now fully active. In ruined cities, humans stayed hidden. They moved through tunnels, sewers, and collapsed buildings. They never stayed in one place for long. They never attacked in large numbers. Alien patrols walked into narrow streets. Doors closed behind them. Signals vanished. Lights went out. Sometimes the ground opened beneath alien feet. Sometimes walls collapsed with perfect timing. Sometimes there was only darkness and silence. The aliens fired wildly. Energy blasts burned empty air. Their fear made them careless. Their armor slowed. Then down. Human weapons were simple. Old designs, mechanical tools, and modified machines. They did not rely on advanced signals. They did not break when jammed. One alien commander ordered heavy force. Entire blocks were destroyed, but humans were never there. They had already moved. Every attack taught humans more. Alien reaction time, weapon recharge delays, armor weak points. Information became the real weapon in one region. Aliens tried to build a strong base. Humans allowed it. They watched silently as towers rose. They waited until the base was full. Then Earth struck back. The ground shook with controlled earthquakes. Power grids failed. Support structures collapsed. The base became a grave within minutes. Alien morale began to break. Soldiers refused to move alone. Groups stayed close, slowing progress. Fear spread faster than orders. Some aliens demanded retreat. Others demanded more troops. The command structure fractured. Above Earth, the Council finally noticed the delay. They expected celebration. Instead, they received reports of resistance and rising losses. The Council dismissed the warnings. They believed humans were desperate. They believed resistance meant failure was near. They ordered more forces to land. This decision sealed their fate. Humans watched new ships enter the atmosphere. More enemies, more data, more targets. Earth was becoming crowded. Deep underground, a human commander spoke calmly. He said the enemy was exactly where they wanted them, spread out, tired, and afraid. The trap was not just the cities, not just the storms or gravity. The real trap was human nature. Humans adapted faster than any enemy. They learned while fighting. They improved while losing. As night returned again, alien sensors showed movement everywhere. Too much movement. The aliens realized too late. They were not invading Earth. They were inside it, and Earth was closing around them. The Council panics above Earth. The Galactic Council fleet finally felt fear. Days had passed with no clear victory signal. Ground reports were broken, delayed, and filled with loss. The Council chamber opened an emergency session. Holograms showed red warning symbols across Earth's surface. Entire battalions were missing. Bases had gone silent. The speaker demanded answers. Generals blamed weather, gravity, and unknown factors. They said humans were using the planet itself as a weapon. This explanation angered the Council. Earth was supposed to be weak. Humans were supposed to be disorganized. None of this matched the reports. A senior tactician finally spoke the truth. He said the invasion had underestimated human behavior. He said humans were not fighting to win quickly. They were fighting to exhaust and break the enemy. The chamber fell silent. More data arrived from the surface. Alien soldiers were refusing orders. Supply lines were failing. Communication towers were destroyed from inside cities. Worst of all, human forces were still mostly unseen. The Council realized something terrifying. They were fighting an enemy that refused open battle, an enemy that learned faster with every encounter. Panic spread quietly through the chamber, not loud fear, but controlled dread, the kind that leaders feel when plans collapse. The Council ordered orbital strikes. They believed destroying cities would break human resistance. They believed fear would force humans into the open. The first strikes hit empty urban zones. Buildings collapsed. Fire spread, but nothing answered back. Humans had already left those areas. They had predicted this. Response. The strikes only destroyed empty shells. On the surface, humans adjusted instantly. They changed movement paths. They shifted trap zones. They used the chaos as cover. Alien ground forces suffered more. Orbital strikes disrupted their own systems. Friendly units were cut off. Sensors failed under radiation and debris. The Council demanded faster results. They pushed commanders to advance deeper, to secure population centers. This made everything worse. Aliens moved into mountains, forests, and underground structures. Places Earth had shaped over millions of years. Places humans knew by instinct. Snow froze alien joints. Heat damaged. Internal cooling, humidity corrupted delicate systems. Humans attacked only when success was guaranteed. They vanished before retaliation. They left no symbols, no warnings. Fear became the real enemy. Some alien soldiers began to see humans as myths, creatures of shadow and patience. Not soldiers, but hunters. The Council tried to regain control. They sent psychological broadcasts to Earth, threats, promises, lies. Humans ignored all of them. Instead, humans sent a message of their own, not in words, but in action. A high-value alien command center went dark, deep underground, protected by advanced shields. It failed in seconds. The Council could not explain how. Security systems showed no breach, yet every commander inside was gone. That moment broke the illusion of control. The Council finally understood the truth. This was not a rebellion. This was a calculated defense. Humans were not trying to survive. They were trying to teach a lesson as another wave of alien ships prepared to land. Some Council members hesitated. They suggested withdrawal, but pride spoke louder than fear. The invasion had already cost too much. Retreat would show weakness to the galaxy. The Council chose to continue. On Earth, human commanders saw the decision clearly. More enemies were coming. More mistakes would be made. One human officer spoke quietly. He said the Council was no longer thinking logically. They were reacting emotionally, and emotional enemies always lose. Earth did not celebrate. Earth prepared. The Council believed they still controlled the war. They did not realize they had already lost it. Humanity strikes back. The fifth phase of the war did not begin on Earth. It began in human minds. By now, humans understood alien technology. Not completely, but enough. Enough to copy. Enough to improve. Captured weapons were taken apart piece by piece. Engine cores were studied. Communication systems were every mistake the aliens made became human knowledge. Human engineers worked without rest. They did not try to match alien power, they tried to twist it. Alien energy weapons were turned into traps. Shield technology was used to hide human movement. Navigation systems were rewritten to lie. The first human counterattack came without warning. Alien supply ships vanished in orbit. No explosions, no signals, just empty space. The Council believed it was equipment failure. They did not yet realize humans were reaching beyond Earth. On the ground, humans changed tactics. They stopped only defending. They started pushing. Small human teams attacked alien bases directly. Using stolen codes and modified tech, doors opened when they should not. Weapons shut down in alien hands. Alien soldiers felt helpless. Their greatest strength had become useless. In space, human-built craft appeared for the first time. They were not large, they were not beautiful, but they were fast and unpredictable. These ships did not fight fair. They attacked supply routes. They disappeared into debris fields. They used gravity and shadows as cover. The Council finally understood the danger. Humans were no longer limited to Earth. They were learning to fight in the galaxy. A Council war world was hit next, not with bombs, but with sabotage. Human operatives landed quietly. They disrupted power systems. They poisoned data networks. They left before alarms could respond. The war world collapsed into chaos. Defenses attacked friendly units. Factories shut down. Command lost control. The message was clear. Humans did not need to conquer planets. They only needed to break them. Fear spread across Council space. Other species watched closely. The myth of Council superiority cracked. On Earth, alien ground forces were now trapped. Supply lines were gone. Orbital support was unreliable. Retreat was impossible. Human forces closed in slowly. They did not rush. They did not waste lives. Each alien base fell one by one. Not in great battles, but in quiet failures. Alien commanders begged the Council for extraction. Some were denied. Others never received answers. The Council argued among itself. Blame replaced strategy. Pride replaced logic. Humans watched these divisions grow. They understood this moment well. They had seen it in their own history. Empires fall when leaders stop listening. As human counterattacks spread, the galaxy began to whisper. Earth was no longer a target. It was a warning. Humanity had stopped reacting. They were now deciding the pace of the war. The Council had voted for invasion, but humanity had changed the rules. The final phase was coming. Earth becomes a grave. The final phase did not begin with a great battle. It began with silence. Across Earth, alien signals faded one by one. Command channels went dark. Orbital support stopped responding. Alien ground forces realized they were alone. No reinforcements, no escape, no future. Human forces moved in calmly, not with rage, not with celebration, but with control. Bases that once glowed with alien power went quiet. Shields failed. Systems shut down. Resistance collapsed. Some aliens tried to surrender. Humans accepted when possible. Others chose to fight. Those battles were short. Earth had already won, above the planet. The Council fleet faced a choice: stay and lose everything, or leave and survive. For the first time in Council history, a retreat order was issued. Ships turned away from Earth, damaged, afraid, and silent, but not all ships escaped. Human sabotage triggered delayed failures. Engines died mid-jump. Navigation systems led ships into stars. Space itself became a weapon. The invasion fleet broke apart. What remained fled. In disorder, Earth was left behind, scarred but standing, in the aftermath. Humans did not chase revenge. They sent a message to the galaxy, simple and clear. Earth is not weak. Earth is not afraid. The message spread fast, translated into 1,000 languages, carried by traders, spies, and survivors. The Galactic Council collapsed soon after. Member worlds withdrew, alliances broke, fear replaced authority. Earth was marked on star maps, not as a resource, not as a target, but as a grave, a warning written in quiet destruction. Generations later, alien academies taught the lesson: do not judge a species by its chaos. Do not mistake patience for weakness. They spoke of humans with respect and with fear. Earth returned to rebuilding. Cities rose again. Life continued. Humans did not seek empire. They did not demand tribute. They only asked one thing: be left alone. The stars remained quiet after that. Ships changed course near Sol. Invasion plans were erased. The Council had voted for Earth's invasion. Humanity had turned it into a grave.